seconds until minions spawn.
There we go. Good. We counter. This is good that we got a ward. When we see them push this 5, we gotta counter do that as well and get a ward. We're gonna skip through this one pretty quickly. So this one, just for you, Nugget, I think you need to wait to go aggressive. Like, you have an opportunity to kill, but if he reacts, I guess it was super close. I would have waited till level 3 to do that. Guarantee a knock-up. Just play it slow until you're level 3. That's what I would have done. This is really good. Good trading. This is what you do in the Braum. Well, I mean, against the Leo, right? So you just perma slow, trade, get. That was huge. I don't know what the Varus is thinking here. Was good for us. Well played. Okay, I believe this is where the Drake fight happens, and it's a mixed bag of things. Good trade onto Ari. I think it's fine to start, especially with Kassadin a lot healthier. We gotta land that Q there. That was a little troll that we just really missed it. But I think it's okay if Kassadin walks over. But you guys got to be communicating on who your targets are. Truthfully, the one thing, I think the one mistake you guys have made is walking up too soon. They're tanking this, and either the call is to collapse on them, like on the Varus right now, is to go, hey, we're going onto this Varus, like literally blow everything, just kill the Varus, or you let them tank this Drake. The fact that Varus gets to walk out of that, he had just burnt Flash. One, the fact that Volibear gets to run right down, that's crazy. You guys are just not being aggressive enough in terms of the positioning. Like, why did he get to run straight across to the Drake? Now, they're tanking it, so it's actually okay. Like, them tanking it, it's alright. But then the fact that Varus is trapped in here, and we know he doesn't have Flash, this should be 100% commit onto the Varus. Varus should be dead, or, like, literally should be roasted. And then we tank it, we poke, like, we just didn't need to... Like, we committed to a flip. There's no reason to. We had 2 opportunities, so we either could have killed the Volibear, at least burnt his Flash, and we could have collapsed onto the Varus while they were stuck in this pit tanking Drake. See the advantages, see the angles. Those are 2 different opportunities. Then Braum is just kind of in an awkward spot compared to everybody else. We just need to communicate targets a little bit better there. I think the Kassadin went too far. He chased the Ahri too hard. Like, yeah, it's great. It's Ahri. She was low, but it's Ahri. So I think if you come back a little bit earlier than that, instead of going for that initial flash, we don't die here. So I just think there's a couple different things. One, we didn't take a fight, or we had a huge advantage twice actually, and two, we didn't target select properly. We didn't call out who we were going for. Braum got caught out because he was going for the 3, while everybody else went for the 1. So there's better communication there. That's a good gank. I don't think you need to flash there. This is just a small mechanical thing. I'd rather you flash if you really felt that you were gonna get hit by it. You weren't gonna get hit by that. Where you weren't gonna get hit by that. So I think you could have held on to the flash. Not the biggest deal in the world. Just a little tiny thing. It's a fine roam. We just give it at this point. Yep. We're winning everywhere else on the map. Our Ash is up 500 gold. We're in a pretty good spot right now. This was a great call to commit and burn everything to get force him out. I think that was really good of you guys. This is good. We get plating. Okay, so here's where we overstayed a little bit. So, not a ton, but a little bit. So we have 900 gold. So right now, this is even gold lane because we have so much gold in the bank. We have 900. We're only up by 800, but he spent that. That's the difference, right? So we have to be careful in terms of taking this fight. When he commits right here, oops, good flash, but we can't commit. We overcommit. Remember, it's even. We don't need to commit here. I also think that if you guys play that a little bit slower, once you disengage, what you do here is they try and force an engage. Okay, we disengage really quick. It's fine, and Skarner comes immediately down to you guys afterwards. It gets a gank. So I just think seeing where you're at, the angle at which your team's at, can come help you and things like that. I just think that once you disengage, we don't need to recommit. We're trying to really commit here, and we get flashes, but we die and give over a huge shutdown. So that play went from us being up 800 gold to support being down 1,000 and ADC only being up 300. A little bit quicker. This is where I talked about the TP timer. This is fine. You clear. You know she won't have vision of you. You should be looking at TP right now, if that's the call, right? I don't think they should have taken this fight, but if you're going to do this, you insta TP. You walking down, then walking back up, walking all the way back up, then just a TP, then get nothing for it, is a rough one. So I just think the communication from the team, if you are going to TP, that roam just isn't. You got to use it. You can't just sit in the river not using it and then go after the play is done. You got to do it when the play is active. Great claps. Super good claps right there. You now take the Drake.
Red team has slain the dragon.
I think that's a fine gank. Again, I think we're overcommitting. I get the idea we want the gold. Feels like a little bit of an overcommitment. I also think, because you not are there. How much mana is it? I'm not sure why you walked down in this direction. You know Leo's here, and I guess we didn't know where Volibear is. You running into their base is worse in this situation, I think. Do we know? Wait, yeah, we know where Volibear is. He's respawning. So I think you get out if you just run this way. Like you literally just have to run out this direction and then R into your team right here. So I think you live here if you don't run down there for some reason. Like I said, you just walk out. So I think going deeper there is the bad call. I think you just walk this direction out, and I don't think there's any way they catch you. Varus could rotate over, but your Skarner can collapse and cut him off there, so it doesn't matter. We're a little late on this contest. I mean, it is what it is. That's good to step back. Great to go on to somebody there. I think overall, so far, this fight is really good. Talk about communication in terms of who you're going for. When you're in the ult, make sure you guys are communicating. You did a decent job there. Great job by Skarner, by Oni grabbing them directly out of the ult. So this is the play where you just can't, with the back timers and stuff, you can't take this. Spawn timers are too short here, and they have TPs. So while I think the play was like, oh, I like it. If they rotate, I think you just E out. Instead of Eing in like this, you E out and just bail. Especially because Oni has to reset. We don't have ours. I guess he had R. Two of you had R. But needless to say, still a bad fight. Like the back timer was really bad on the Orin. To take that fight, so we just don't take it. It's okay to give up the Rift Herald is okay, but yeah, I just think this is just a little overforced here. Especially with back timers. But you guys already knew that, you guys talked about it, which is good. Okay, we're coming up on the play that tilted me out of my mind, brought to you by Nugget. So right now it's pretty even state. Overall, we're chilling. We just got the first turret onto the Kassadin. This is good. We're fine. Everything's good right now. We're in a fine state. Okay, here's the play. Here is the play that drives me absolutely nuts. Okay, so first off, Nugget, you do this actually every game. Like, there is one play where you do something that you just don't need to do, and I don't know the logic behind it. I understand the Mordekaiser is at half health. I understand that you think, maybe I can win this 1v1. But why are we risking it? Your team is going to take a fight, a 4v4, in which they win. You are currently up 200 gold, 300 gold. So it's about 200. You're up a little bit. It's not a huge deal though. But Rift is also coming. Mord is half health, but you are an Orin versus a Mordekaiser, a buffed Mordekaiser. This is not a hard fight from like why are we engaging right there? Of all times to engage, why are we engaging? Because sure it was somewhat close, but now but the reason, not the reason, but even if you win, great. But you lose so much because you lose. Like there's no reason to take it because there's no reason. Like if it was like, oh, I gotta save the game, they're ending. Okay, sure. But at this point in the game, there's no reason to take that risk. If you kill him, cool. He doesn't get a charge off onto a turret that already won't die. Instead, you dying gives him 2 turrets, shutdown, or not shutdown, gold. So you were down. Was it shutdown? It wasn't shutdown. But you went from being up, as this fight starts, about 200. And because Rift was right there, they get 2 turrets. Instead, what you should have done is just let it crash. It doesn't kill the turret. You just clear the wave, and you can fight a little bit later if you really want to. But by taking a fight when Herald is coming, that is, and the other thing too is your team is bot side going for a Drake. You do even in solo, you don't need to be making a play top side when your team is making a play bot side. That's counterintuitive to what you're doing. Like when your team is making a play on the opposite side of the map, generally speaking, you want to be playing safe, particularly on a scaling champion. If it's like, I don't know, Irelia or something that doesn't scale well, Pantheon, and you need to be forcing plays, understandable a little bit, but you're Ornn. You don't need to force anything. Your team is scaling. Like, there's so many reasons in this. Like, okay, we have Kassadin, and Ashe is more mid game, but we have a Kassadin and Ornn. Like, our team fight's really good. We're playing for Drake bot side right now. Why even risk it? There's zero reason to risk it. Like I said, you do this in this series. You had 1 death every game. That was like, why are we even doing that? So now we'll watch how the play unfolds. Oni and Primus make a really good play right here. They get a pick onto the Varus. They get a kill onto another one. I do think you guys you called this off a little too. With how low they were, they didn't have ults. I actually think you guys could have kept pushing that pretty easily. But that's okay. But even though we made a play bot lane, even though we got Drake, they're up 1k gold now. Whole play, everything that happened bot was fantastic. We got a shutdown, we got all these different things, and all of a sudden the entire gold lead is right here. Their entire gold lead. You went from being up 200 to being down 1,500. That's a 1,700 gold swing because you decided to fight for actually no reason. So you gotta just not make plays like that. Like, if your team is doing something on the opposite side of the map, you don't have to fight. I don't understand. Like I said, you do this so frequently. I don't know how to get it to you. Okay, so let's get through. Great fight by the bot side of the map. The Kassadin's getting really strong. Level 12. Really 16 obviously is a power spike right now because of how this item works. It's actually a little bit earlier. His level 11 is now really strong. Not that it's just, yeah, it's very, very good. Obviously not as good as 16, but still good. Great fight. I don't know what your TP brings to this. Oh, you're matching the TP, that's why. Oh, it wasn't your TP, it was their TP. You need to match sooner. You either need to rotate now, or you need a TP. You coming in as late as you do hurts the fight. It should be an instant match on the TP. Like, we're kiting out really well. You guys can keep pushing this for sure. But I think you would have cleaned house if the TP is just a little bit earlier. I like it. You guys are pushing ways. This is good. Don't overstay. Back out. That's good. So that was a 1.5k gold swing. That's great. We almost get top turret as well. Like I said, I think the TP needs to be a little bit earlier. You either need to rotate directly down when the fight's happening, or you need to immediately match with the TP. I cannot believe they did not commit to you. Skip through. That was a great kill. Way to chill. Drake is spawning, I believe, in 20 seconds. It is a Drake fight we lose, and I'm not sure how we lose this. This fight, I thought we were winning this fight, and we didn't. So I gotta see this fight, because we're up 3k gold. Big thing, Mango, you have to reset here. You needed to reset after you get this turret. You push an additional wave. Drake is spawning in 27 seconds, and you have 2.7 or 2.5k rather. You need to be reset. Like, that is your entire gold lead against the Ahri. So if you go into this fight, you're actually even. Like, if you go into this fight and Ahri TPs into this fight or gets to this fight, you guys are actually even if you don't take a reset. Everybody else, I think, is fine. Oni, I probably would have taken a reset a little bit earlier, but it's not as important on you. You're already you're already fairly tanky, so I don't think it's as important. You had an opportunity. I'm not sure what was going on in terms of the fighting and getting vision control. I'd rather you, at this point, I would like you to reset, but it's not like the worst thing. But Kassadin is 100% bad that we aren't resetting right now. So let's see this fight. Yeah, so you're going to this fight with 3,000 gold. You cannot do that. That is actually your entire gold. Like, our team's gold lead is that. That is the gold lead. Our ADCs, even. Bot lane, 400 difference. Jungle, 400 difference. Top lane, at this point, 200 difference. So, this isn't an even game, except for Kassadin. Right now, Kassadin has a 3k gold lead, except you are fighting without that gold lead. So this fight is not a fight that we're advantageous. We are even. Not only that, but it's a death cap buy. You get death cap here, or you get Medjai's. So I think that the fact that you took this fight is super bad, Mango. You had to reset earlier. Okay, that stuff is annoying. You can't just you had to have reset on that first turret. There's the difference between killing all of them. Leo's dead at this point. Volibear dies. Like, there's just so many things that that was really bad. And the primary reason is our resets were not good. Like, you literally go back and you get a death cap and a Medjai's, I think. Yep. Well, you know. So I think the biggest issue with that fight is the fact that Mango did not reset in time. That's why we lost the fight. I think your TP was good, but you had to get a reset because they end up getting not like they get the Drake, they get a turret for it. So make sure you're resetting it when the guys are calling for resets. You gotta make sure you are following the reset timers. With TP, so the rule of thumb is as well, you want to reset a minute 30 before if you're at the Drake fight at spawn. So you want to reset and get there. If you have TP or a flanking champion, so I would consider Kassadin a flanking champion and you have TP, you don't need to be there until the fight actually starts. So your resets can be later. So you could have at 30 seconds before the Drake spawn reset. You start walking top. If a Drake fight doesn't start, you just keep walking top and you can keep pushing the wave. Or if the Drake fight starts, that's when you insta TP onto it. So I think there's just a couple things. Like I said, I think that was a big reason is you not having spent your entire gold lead was the reason that the fight ended up being lost. I think this is good by you guys. I actually like how you guys are positioning here on this corner. I like the aggression. I think Braum needs to be up with you a little bit more. I think your ult was a little quick. I think you pulled the trigger just a little too soon. You can hold on to that a little bit longer. Yeah, we gotta clear our stuff. This one, we just bounce kind of back and forth for a little bit. We kind of feel like we're like, okay, we're playing. And one thing we can do this. We're kind of playing for level 16 on the castle, which you just hit. So it's okay to kind of be like, all right, we're gonna take these fights when we have an opportunity. they go for Baron here. I think this is fine. I think the only thing I would say is Oni, it's a little hard to be where you were. And then they just turn onto the Kassadin, which he gets a kill, which is huge. So it ends up being okay. So I think it worked out. You just gotta be really, really like moving really soon. But overall, I mean, great engage there. Do we leave with an Ashar? So what happened? I think it worked out. I think we can take this fight a little slower. If Varus doesn't get hit by that, you die. You get insta given this Kassadin. But you get out. We get kills. Huge. Yeah, once he's out, okay, we should go to Baron. Great turn. I love the call here because you guys were doing the Baron. He was coming in. The call here, you guys were, hey, turn. This was absolutely a fantastic call. To just say, forget the Baron. We'll go back to it. Great call. Okay, we have Drake spawning. We're a little late on the spawn. That's okay. I think you guys did this right. You guys were calling. So one thing I will say, Primus, in this, you were calling that they had. You're like, oh, they have priority or they have something. But we saw Ahri top. Once you see Ahri top, she does have TP, so you gotta be cognizant of that. But Oni was right to play as aggressive as he did. You have TP on 2 champions, and your Ashe is fairly close. I think it's fine for you guys to come in here, especially with Skarner frontlining. Like I think you were a little too conservative. Like, and not that it's a bad thing. I think it's good to be conservative. Like, hey, they do have priority to this. They're gonna be here earlier. But once you see Ahri top, you should know, hey, we're good. Like, we can get into this. It's fine. I think this was great. Mr. Kassadin is on I'm hunting everybody down spree right now. This is a really good ult if you would have hit it. It's good, yeah. You guys you just keep shoving. Like, their spawn timers, they're just spawning. I think this is good. I think you guys get this and you back out. Once that misses, you guys back out. So this is where we staggered our back timers a little bit. I know, Kassadin, you're not super healthy right now. You need to stay with this wave and let it crash while these guys are pushing this. The back timer should be... And how much do we have left on Baron? Not a huge amount, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but we don't want to stagger the back timers. So we then reset. We actually clear, and like, see how we're staggering all of our back timers. We need to not be staggering our back timers. So when one's backing, like, and even here, I think the Kassadin, what you do here, instead of backing right when you do, all you do, you don't even have to get close. You just stay here and empower the minions. You got 2 cannons, so you should be able to, you'll get a lot of damage off here while they get this. And then once they get this and they miss that arrow, everyone backs off together. So I think we have a little bit of a problem sometimes desyncing our timers like that, particularly when we're in this stage of game, which has led to bad fights. So that is what you need to do. So Kassadin just needs to keep this pressure. He can stay, literally, you can stay at this line right here. You do not even have to walk up this far. You just need to keep the minions, mainly the cannons, empowered while they pressure this, because they have to react to this. Mordekaiser runs spot, which makes it so they get this. I just think that, and it works out, but I think it could have been better in terms of our timers with Baron to not stagger our timers. Then here's the call is, hey, you can't fight, our bot lane's not there. When everybody should have reset. Like, Oni has 1,300 gold, or it doesn't matter because he has this passive. But it should have been a reset. See, like, now we're resetting again. So now we just lost. Essentially, we, from different time, because we did different timers, while we could have been pressuring, we lost from 31 to... You guys aren't back up on the map until everyone's back on the map at 2:38. So we lost, and not only than that, Caston is now resetting again. So if we really look at this, we just lost 2.5 minutes of pressure. I'm sorry, almost 2 minutes. I guess not 2.5, about 2 minutes. So 2 minutes of pressure. And we had Baron for about a minute of that. So we lost an entire minute of Baron because we staggered back timers multiple times. And that was time we could have been taking jungle. It was time we could have been catching aways, pressuring turrets, expanding our lead. So it's just we cannot be staggering our back timers because it gives them time to scale up as well. Just delaying. And like obviously we have Cassid and an Ornn. Like we outscale them, but it's still really bad to practice that. Don't stagger back timers. Yeah, so engaging here, great. Ashe gets ulted, which kind of stinks. You gotta be... He mistimed it, that's good. And then it burns you, unfortunately. This is good, get the bot line. This was a good call, I like this call. So you split it, that's good. Drake is spawning in a minute. You guys need to reset for the Drake. We have almost a 10k gold lead, we're in a really good spot. So here's another one of our plays where we just, it's one of those, why are we doing it? They're getting prio, we're getting Baron, Drake is spawning in 22 seconds. We're good. Even the fact that we're pressuring in here when they had the stuff, like as Cassidon, there's zero reason to be here. Zero reason. Any Cassidon, just leave! That's a huge shutdown to give over. Another one. Like, and you lose your stacks. Like, there's just no reason to be here. And I get he flashed on you. Totally get, but you could have just eat out right there. Like, you were out. You could have just eat out and then TP'd back to the fight. The Varus just burnt flash and ult, and you're TPing back into this fight with Drake at full health. Zero reason to go in as cast in there. Because of it, we lose soul point. We also lose pressure on the Drake. You guys were calling. They're like, hey, they're collapse. They can collapse on us. Ari's here. You were calling all these different things. We didn't know where they were. I think this is good to push and then rotate into their jungle. I think that was a really good call. And yeah, you just take this fight. That was good. This is good, pressuring it. I like this. This is where you guys should be able to end. I think you do. You have Ashar, you have Ornn. Like, you just commit to this super hard. Cool. Then we take a good fight. We win the game. So that was good. Like I said, there's just these little macro mistakes throughout the game that we was like, hey, why are we trying to trade on the top side of the map? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? So we just gotta be just a little bit more cognizant of these things. We don't need to be doing these weird plays on the opposite side of the map. All right, game 2.